Yo, welcome back to the Straight to the Point podcast, episode 18. Y'all, it's your boy Bess, and I am back. Alright, sorry I missed a couple of weeks, but I went back home for Thanksgiving break, and there was so much going on with the family and everything. We stayed busy, and on top of that, I just feel like I'm not in my element unless I'm in the studio, right, in my room. So I had to, I just said, I'm gonna bite the bullet and I'm gonna go ahead and not do an episode that was last week. So now this week I am back in my natural habitat, and I will get y'all caught up on some of the best five plays of the past couple of weeks, and I'm gonna show y'all the current playoff picture. I'm gonna talk about Lamar Jackson, who never lets me down, and then I'm gonna talk about Zach Wilson and the quarterback controversy in New York. All right, and that should be all for the day. But first and foremost, as always, I just gotta say God is good, and I want to thank Him for waking me up this morning and allowing me to talk about sports, which is something that I love to do. All right, so let me get y'all caught up, man. I gotta do the best five plays of Week 10 and Week 11, and these are like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. So best five plays of Week 10, I'm going to give it to you right now. Then Week 11, I'm going to give it to you at the end of the show. We're going to end on a high note. So let me go ahead and get to the best five plays of Week 10, y'all. Honorable mention, as always, is always a player or a play that did not make the cut, and I just had to put him up here. And it got to be Dalvin Cook with the 71-yard touchdown, y'all. It was down 10-27. He had to make a play. Somebody had to make a play. Let's get back in this game as soon as possible, as fast as possible. And there's no quicker way to get back into the game than a 67-yard touchdown from Dalvin Cook. Okay, this is what led to the comeback for the Minnesota Vikings that week, and his big playability is the reason why he is a top 5 running back in this league, y'all. And I believe that to my heart that he is top 5. Great play by Dalvin Cook, great breakaway speed. Him and Justin Jefferson on the same offense, it is very scary and very dangerous, y'all. Number 5, I gotta go with Jonathan Taylor. Okay, 66-yard touchdown. Jeff Saturday, look, I know you're new to the job and all. I got it. I know this is what you've been coaching for, 3 weeks. I got it. But look, give the ball to Jonathan Taylor, please. And just give it to him. Good things will happen. Look, right now you have Matt Ryan, who's struggling. Right, can't get on the same page with his receivers. Right, it just doesn't look good from a passing perspective, and your O-line's not blocking pretty good. So let's just run the ball. Jonathan Taylor should at least get 20 carries a game, at least maybe 25 a game, just because he has that big playability. The same as Dalvin Cook. That's why Jonathan Taylor top 5 running back, because he has that big playability to be able to get those big touchdowns whenever you need it, whenever you desperately need it. And of course, I don't think y'all doing nothing this year. Of course not, but I do believe if you want to compete and stay in games and even win a couple more games, let's go ahead and give that rock to the top 5 running back in the league. Number 4, Stephon Diggs. Hey, look, there's another one-hand catch in this game that I will get to, but before that, look, Stephon Diggs, great catch. Okay, this is the best Diggs brother. I don't want to hear about Trayvon. Stephon is the best Diggs brother, and on top of all of that, he, like I said about numerous of players, he makes that big playability. He gives you that big playability, and this is a big play, believe it or not. Right, it's a high ball, it's shouldn't even be completed, but Stephon Diggs is that safety blanket that Josh Allen has, where he can throw it anywhere, he can go and get it. I don't necessarily consider him top 5. That's a debate for another day, but he is definitely top 6, top 7, somewhere in that range. So Stephon Diggs is that guy. Great catch, great grab. Number 3 and number 2 are owned by the up-and-coming rising star Justin Fields. Okay, people get mad at me because I don't call him a running back like I call Lamar Jackson. Just give Justin Fields a little bit of time. He's young. Okay, let me see the passing game get a little better. Let me see y'all give him some weapons. We're just evaluating this man right now. Okay, Justin Fields, number 3. Breaks the tackle, and he finishes with against 2 defenders, guys. Against 2 defenders, he went and lowered his shoulder. Now, look, I'm not all for the quarterbacks taking hits like that, because get hit the wrong way one good time and it's over with. But he did get up from this play, and he did get the 2-point conversion. He just shows that how bad he really wants it, y'all, when he goes and put his shoulder down against 2 people. But it's breaking the play, the scramble ability. He brings that big play ability to the Chicago Bears at a position that if you have a big playability quarterback, you can be very successful in years to come. So they can keep building around him. I think if he gets a little better in the passing game, I think he is their guy for sure, no doubts about it. And I think that he can make this team good one day. Okay, number 2 also belongs to Justin Fields, 67-yard touchdown. The big playability once again, and the breakaway speed, y'all. He brings a different dimension to this offense. When you play this team, not only you have to worry about David Montgomery running the ball, who is the running back, but I got to worry about Justin Fields running the ball. And then one day we're going to have to say, okay, I got to worry about him running. And I definitely got to worry about him passing the ball. Okay, give him a couple more weapons. Chase Claypool, show up. Right? They traded a second round pick for you, so show them that you're worth that second round pick. As of right now, my Steelers won that trade because I haven't heard your name since you got traded. Darnell Mooney, he's starting to make plays again like he was last year. So I think this offense is in good hands with Justin Fields, who's a rising star in this league. And then number 1, it's a no-brainer. Okay, I got to go with Justin Jefferson, y'all. The one-handed catch. They said they put his gloves in the Hall of Fame because this might be the greatest catch of all time. I agree. The fact that he went up and got it with one hand, but not just that. He snatched it from the defender. Okay, and what I love about it most is that it's 2 minutes left in the game. It's 4th and 18, which means you got to catch this ball or the game is over. And then we're talking about they're down 4. So they're down, it's late in the game, and it's 4th down. He made a play when the play was needed to be made. This is when your best players step up, when it's within that last 2-minute mark, and you need a play. This is when the best players come out and play, and Justin Jefferson did that. Like I said, one of the greatest catches of this century that I've ever seen, at least. So that's it for the best 5 plays of week 10. Like I said, best 5 plays of week 11. I'm going to get there, but first, let's talk about the current playoff picture, guys. The current playoff picture right now for the AFC. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Right now, the Chiefs have the first round bye. The Chiefs will be the number 1 seed if things ended today, and I think it will stay like that. I think the Chiefs will stay at that first round bye. I think that the playoffs will go through Arrowhead once again. All right, number 2 will be Miami. Okay, hopefully they can stay hot and keep that spot. Number 3 will be Tennessee. Number 4 will be Baltimore. And then number 5 will be Buffalo. Number 6 will be Cincinnati. And number 7 would be the Jets, Jets. Now, as of right now, of course, the matchups will be Jets at Miami. It will be Bengals at Tennessee, and then it will be Buffalo at Baltimore. Those will be 3 good games, but my argument is the Jets will not be in the playoffs this year. Look, I told y'all when Breece Hall got hurt, this offense was going to take a toll. So the recent struggles with Zach Wilson, and it's not all on him. It's because you don't have that great running back anymore. We'll talk about that a little more later, but I think the Jets will fall off, and I am willing to make a petition, right, to make an argument that the Chargers or the Patriots will steal that 7th spot from the Jets. Okay, it's no hate to the Jets. I just think they're not ready yet to make that step over the hump. I told y'all when I made my playoff pyramid, I said, look, they will be good in a couple of years. More like not this year, but next year. They exceeded expectations this year already. They're 7-4. Nobody saw that coming, right? But I think they're not ready yet to get into the playoffs. So this year I'm going to bump them out, and I'm going to go ahead and put the Chargers or the Patriots. Those will be the 2 teams fighting for that 7th spot, not the Jets. And then Baltimore and Cincinnati will switch off. Baltimore, unfortunately, because of their record, they might make the playoffs. More than likely, they will make the playoffs. But I think Cincinnati will win the division, and I'll talk about that a little more later as well. But that is the AFC playoff picture. And now the NFC playoff picture. Let's talk about the number 1 seed being the Eagles. I think they're going to hold that spot, no doubt about it. I don't think they're going anywhere. And then I'm looking at number 2, Minnesota Vikings. Number 3, the San Francisco 49ers. Number 4, we're looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 5, the Dallas Cowboys. Number 6, the Giants. And number 7, the Washington Commanders. As of right now, the matchups will be Commanders at Minnesota. It will be the Giants at the 49ers, and then Dallas at Tampa Bay. I'm willing to make a petition and a change that I don't think the Giants are going to make it either. I think the Giants are starting to go downhill a little bit, and I'm going to make a bold prediction right now. I think the Packers are going to replace the Giants. So I think Washington will be number 6, and I think the Packers will squeeze themselves into the 7th seed, and here is why. Aaron Rodgers, y'all. I will never bet against him. I'm not going to do it now. I never did it before. I don't care how bad the team is looking, but it's getting to that time of year when it gets real cold in Lambeau, and it gets real cold around other places in the NFL. And for some reason, when it gets to that December range, when it gets to February, January, that's when Aaron Rodgers kind of fall off. But when it gets into December, right, that's when Aaron Rodgers elevates his play, in my opinion. So I'm looking at the rest of the schedule, which is pretty easy if you ask me. Now, of course, his health and everything going on with his ribs and his finger, all of that comes into play, right? If he's not healthy, no, they're not going to make the playoffs. But if he's healthy enough to finish the year out, right, and Jordan Love doesn't go in, if Aaron Rodgers can finish this year, I think, and even if Jordan Love play this week, I think they can beat the Bears. Even with Jordan Love, they can beat the Bears. Just run the ball with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Stay on the ground. Let Jordan make a couple passes. But I think they can beat the Bears. But if A-Rod comes back healthy, they can beat the Rams. I believe they can steal one in Miami. I'm asking for one steal. Just steal one in Miami. Then you're at home against the Vikings and the Lions. As of right now, you got 3 more home games and 2 more away games. One of the away games means the Bears, and one of the away games is the Dolphins. Just steal that Dolphins game from me, and I think they can win out 100%. And like I said, I'm not betting against A-Rod. I would never do that. And then I'm replacing the Giants because the Giants, I just see them going down a slippery slope, y'all. They lost to the Lions last week. Week before last. Then they lost to the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. And now they're playing the Commanders, which is red hot right now. Chase Young is coming back. And then they play the Eagles. Then they play the Commanders again. Then they play the Vikings. They play the Colts. And they play the Eagles. So I'm looking at 2 games that's winnable. They might beat the Commanders one time, and they might beat the Colts. But the Commanders going to beat them one time. The Eagles going to beat them. The Vikings going to beat them. Then the Eagles going to beat them again. So I'm looking at this team is going to fall down. And I think that the Packers can go up and go ahead and squeeze into that spot. Right now the Giants are 7-4, and right now the Packers are 4-8. So of course 4 losses and they'll had the same record. I think the Packers can squeeze in there. So that's my only petition for the NFC is to go ahead and squeeze the Packers in the playoffs. I believe by the end of the year they will make it. So that is your NFC playoff picture and your AFC playoff picture. Now, like I said, I'm going to do the best plays of week 11 at the end of the show. But real quick, I want to talk about my best friend, Lamar Jackson, y'all. Lamar Jackson played his first 3 weeks, and he went crazy, y'all. He went crazy. First 3 games, 11 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. People blowing on my phone, texting me, saying, man, Lamar Jackson this, Lamar Jackson that. I said, can we please play a full season, even half a season, before we go ahead and jump to these conclusions? They was yelling, pay that man. I said, just wait. Calm down. Can he play like this through 17 games? Then the last 8 games, the past 8 games, right? He's had 7 passing touchdowns in 8 games, 7 passing touchdowns. 1 rushing touchdown. 5 interceptions. In 7 games, he's had 1 or less passing touchdowns. Okay, so I'm saying that to say the inconsistency is crazy. The first 3 games, you came out red hot. Then the past 8 games, it's been very, very shaky. And I want to talk about Lamar Jackson because really the Ravens, right? But more so Lamar Jackson because people are babying him right now. So once upon a time, people said that Lamar Jackson is getting so much hate, and I was like, okay, I can see that, right? I was hating on Lamar, but it's for a reason, right? We was hating on him for a reason. He wasn't proving that he could throw the ball. Now he can throw the ball a little bit, right? But my problem is, why are we babying him right now? There's people all over Sports Center, people in my friend circle that's babying the Ravens. I hear people say that the Ravens are a really good football team. Really good football teams don't give up leads, okay? In every loss this year, in their 4 losses, they was up against Miami. They was up 35-14 with 12 minutes and 12 seconds left in the 4th quarter. How you lose that game, I don't even know. Right, I talked about it in the in that episode, but right now I can't even think about how you lose a 35-14 lead in the 4th quarter. You lost to Buffalo. You was up 20-3 with 9 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. Then you lost to the Giants. You was up 20-10 with 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Then you lost to the Jaguars 19-10, and you was up with 5 minutes and 59 seconds left in the 4th quarter. I've been telling y'all this when this first started. I said Lamar Jackson cannot finish football games. He just can't. People blame it on the defense. No, whatever Lamar did through those first 3 quarters, why can't he do it in the fourth quarter? And you know what people do, and this is what really takes me off. People say when Lamar's doing really good, oh, he's just great. He's that guy. He's just doing it. Then in the fourth quarter when he falls apart, people want to tell me he has no help. He has no receivers. Well, y'all knew this when y'all said he was him. So don't try and deflect the blame now that he's doing bad. Because if he's him with them, why can't he be him in the fourth quarter? I'm not understanding. I want y'all to listen to something real quick. It just blew my mind how blind people are towards Lamar Jackson right now. Y'all look at this mess.
Are the Ravens contenders or pretenders?
Oh, they're bona fide contenders. Bona fide. There is the reality that late in football games, they somehow give it away. They like wait for the opportunity to lose the game. This is their third multiple score fourth quarter lead loss. They've actually had, yesterday they were up by 9, so it's almost 4 double-digit losses that have gone away in the fourth quarter. Lamar's the only quarterback in the league that has more than one of those. There's 4 of them technically almost double-digit losses. This is a great football team that does not play great when it matters the most. So I thought Lamar a little bit yesterday. Here's the reality. They missed Rashad Bateman big time on offense. Big time. Because early downs, they're only throwing the ball to Mark Andrews, really. They can't push the ball downfield anymore. Lamar gets locked on him. First and second down, he's not willing to take some checkdowns to get the ball out of his hands. Missed touchdown early on.
You said a lot of things, but you said they're contenders now. You're saying,
they are.
You're talking like they're pretenders.
Because
I'm just saying, I need your mouth and your words to come.
They're still 7-4. In a phenomenal conference, in a very strong division, and I've said this for 2 months now, they haven't played a B game. They're a 7-4 football team that has played C. And so I believe with Harbaugh, Lamar, that defense that is still good, but they got to find a way to be great in the biggest moments, that they're going to put that month together, that 5-week stretch together where it all clicks and the turnover doesn't happen in the fourth quarter and the defense gets off the field and Marcus Peters makes a big play or Humphrey makes a big play and they put that stretch together of A football. And when they do that, they could beat anybody in the NFL. But to sit here and say the pretenders discounts everything they do 90% of their games. You know what I'm saying? That's not a pretender to me. I think they're bona fide contenders.
And I'm looking at you.
Now, for those of y'all looking at the screen, ain't no way he just said that. He did, and I quote, just for those of y'all who probably didn't catch this. Dan Orlovsky, this is exactly what he said. He said the Ravens are a great team that doesn't play great when it matters most. What? They not a great team then? How you gonna tell me they're a great team and then say they're not great when it matters most? You know what? I'm gonna start saying stupid stuff. Like Dan Orlovsky, because I'm over here on the podcast on YouTube, little bitty podcast on YouTube, trying to do my thing, not making no money, just doing my thing. And Dan Orlovsky and ESPN making bank. So I'm gonna just go ahead and start saying stupid stuff, because apparently you say stupid stuff, you get in high positions, you get money. Donald Trump, Kanye West, Dan Orlovsky. But that's another conversation for another day. Look. It makes no sense to me, okay? This is why I'm so against Lamar Jackson. He can't finish ball games. All right, this Ravens team, right, has 3 losses when they're up by multiple scores. That's tied for the most in a season in NFL history. So Lamar Jackson making history this year, he is not making the right history. Okay, this team is not good. This team is a first round exit. And I got people telling me Lamar gonna win the Super Bowl. I got people telling me, like Dan, that the Ravens are a great team. No, they are not. Why are people so blinded? I'm not I just don't see it. But then somebody that do know a little something, Tim Hasselbeck, for those of y'all that don't know, he be on Get Up sometimes on ESPN. He said great teams do not give up leads. Okay. Oh my God. What? Sorry. They just don't give up leads. Okay. And before I talk about, they just lost to the Jaguars, by the way, for those of y'all that don't know. Before I talk about the Jaguars game, they just beat Carolina last week, 13-3. Baker Mayfield in Carolina, 13-3. Okay, don't come telling me that the Carolina defense is so good. Don't do that, because you ain't said that all year. So while Lamar Jackson only put up 13 points against Baker Mayfield and the Carolina Panthers, I don't know. But let's talk about the Jaguars game. So Trevor Lawrence, right? People in my circle, in my friend circle, has told me that Trevor Lawrence is booty. That's what people say he is a bust. That's what people has told me. But Trevor Lawrence just outplayed y'all favorite quarterback. Let's talk about it. Lamar Jackson was 16 for 32. I believe that's 50%. And then he went 254 yards, 1 touchdown, QBR of 87. Trevor Lawrence, 29 to 37, 78%. Right, that's pretty good. 321 yards, that's pretty good. 3 touchdowns. His QBR was 129. So Lamar Jackson was not the best quarterback on the field on Sunday against the Jaguars. The Ravens got out, and this is the crazy part, right? People say the Ravens don't have a good running offense. Well, the Ravens, they outran the Jaguars 162 to 38. The Jaguars only had 38 rushing yards, and you still lost this game. That is embarrassing. That means your defense did their job. They held them to 38 rushing yards. You should win this game. Because if you can't run the ball in this league, in my opinion, you can't win. You can't just be one-dimensional. And in this game, the Jaguars were one-dimensional, but guess what? They could not win this game. Here's the Ravens' first 4 drives. Lamar Jackson's so great. Going against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a pretty bad team, right? I said they'll be good in like next year after next. This is what y'all favorite quarterback did against them. Field goal, fumble, field goal. That's a lot of threes. That's a whole lot of threes. We ain't playing basketball. This ain't Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. We're not going for threes. Okay, this would be good if we was in the NBA. We're in the NFL. Threes are just field goals. Okay, so I can make an argument that the best player on your team is Justin Tucker. Why can't I make the argument? I should be able to, right? In the red zone, the Ravens went 2 for 5. That is your team getting to cannot cross the finish line. That's what that means. They can't cross the finish line. You're getting within the 20. That should be easy. Lamar Jackson's so great. That should be easy. I know if that was Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, Tom. I know they got in the 20. They'll score. I know that for a fact. But Lamar's not doing it because Lamar is just not who y'all make him to be. In the fourth quarter, the Ravens got outscored 18 to 15. In the fourth quarter, Trevor Lawrence, once again, the best quarterback on the field that day, went 15 for 19, 173 yards for 2 touchdowns. Why can't Lamar Jackson put up these numbers in the fourth quarter? Easy, because Jay Bess told y'all since that week they lost to Miami that they're not finishing games. And I told you when they beat the Patriots that 1 week, I said Lamar Jackson not finishing the game, but Mac Jones threw interceptions that game, so he saved them. But the Ravens were not finishing games. And I'm just, look, I'm over it. I'm done. This is my last time talking about Lamar Jackson because he's really wasting time on my show. I'm getting tired of telling y'all what y'all should already know. The signs are there. This team is not good. Okay, and let's talk about this tweet real quick. This tweet that I gotta and once again, it's a little profanity in this tweet and a little vulgar. I crossed out the vulgar part because y'all ain't about to cancel me. I promise you that. But this is the tweet. Hey, y'all can see it on the screen right now. That this man said. This some. Nobody said this. They said when someone's asking for over $250 million, guaranteed like Lamar Jackson, games like this should not come to Justin Tucker, who's been y'all savior all year, in my opinion. Like I said, he could be the most valuable player on the team, which is bad if your quarterback is supposed to be top 5 or the highest paid quarterback in the league. Let Lamar walk. Let him walk and spend that money on a well-rounded team. I don't see what's wrong with that statement. He's telling the truth. If you want this man to be $250 million guaranteed, he got to finish games. You can't be losing to Trevor Lawrence, right? You can't let Justin Tucker be your savior every time. That's not how that works. I'm paying you that money. You are the reason why we're winning, not Justin Tucker. And Lamar Jackson came back, and this is out of frustration. I know. I'm not blasting Lamar for what he said, but I'm just telling y'all what he said. What he said was, "Boy, STFU." Okay, I got grandparents watching this show, so I can't say what that means. But for those of y'all that you can comprehend, y'all know what STFU mean. Shut the F up, basically. Y'all be capping too much. For the older viewers, that mean y'all be lying. Y'all be lying on this app. MF, y'all know what that mean. MF, never smelt a football field, never did sugar honey iced tea, but eat. And then look, I had to cross that out because that was just too vulgar. Okay, for every man that's watching, just look down and you know what he talking about. Women, just ask the dude that I just told to look down. Ask him. Anyways, y'all know what I'm saying. Okay, that's what they talking about. He said eat such and such. Come to find out, the dude that he's talking about was actually gay. I'm not gonna go into that because y'all not about to cancel me. Okay, I just started the show, so y'all ain't about to come cancel me and have the whole LGBTQ coming after me because I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just telling y'all what he said in response. But I want to talk about this tweet that this man said. He's telling the truth, right? He's telling the truth. If Lamar Jackson, if y'all pay him this money and he doesn't win a Super Bowl, doesn't even win 2 playoff games after this, y'all paid him for no reason. If the team is not good around him, and what this tweet is saying, and I agree, Lamar Jackson is not the answer to y'all's problems. He can't answer all of y'all's problems. Apparently, they have a bad defense. Apparently, the offense has no weapons outside of Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson. The O-line is not what it once was, right? John Harbaugh getting questioned. Lamar Jackson can't overcome that. He just can't. And top 5 quarterbacks can overcome issues. Look at Mahomes. The Chiefs' defense has never been world beaters. The Chiefs' defense has never been top 5, right? The Chiefs' secondary has been terrible since I started watching the Chiefs. Since Eric Berry left, I'm sorry. But Mahomes can overcome that, right? So why can't Lamar Jackson overcome it? Because I don't think he's worth $250 million guaranteed. All right? But look, y'all can say I'm hating. Somebody call me a generational hater. I don't even know where y'all got that from because I'm not a hater. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just speaking facts. Every time y'all come tell me Lamar Jackson is that guy, Lamar Jackson is him, I will make a show. And I will tell y'all every single reason why he is not. Great quarterbacks do not give up leads. Okay? They go and they finish those ball games out. Simple as that. But speaking of quarterbacks, talk about the QB controversy down there in New York with the Jets, y'all. Zach Wilson got benched. He got benched after this whole press conference that they talked about. It's something that he said, and I want y'all to check it out real quick. Here you go.
As an offense, though, I mean, when you guys are only able to score 3 points, the defense only lets up 3 points. I mean, do you feel like you let the defense down at all?
No.
Thank you. Room's open.
Okay, so it was a quick clip, but the answer that he gave right there is the reason why all this controversy, I believe, started. Excuse me. So, I mentioned this a couple times on the show before. I played quarterback in high school and all years prior to that. And, of course, I never stood in front of a press. I never stood in front of the media. I never I've never been in a position to talk about a team. You know what I'm saying? I never have done that. But I know that from my years of playing quarterback, accountability comes with the job. Okay? When we was in practice on games and I made a bad throw, I would always say my bad. Always. I would go to the receiver and say my bad. I got you next time. Always. Never said you ran the wrong route or you could have went and got that. Never did that. I always said it was my bad. It's on me, my bad, my fault. Even when I made those passes that could have been catchable, right? Whether they dropped it, whether they missed time, they jumped. Passes that could have been catchable. That wasn't a great pass, right? Even I came over there and I still said, hey, my bad. I got you next time. Even though in the back of my mind, I knew, bruh, you suck, catch the ball. I just know that I went up to him and I said, look, my bad. It's accountability that comes with the job. That's just what quarterbacks do. Quarterbacks are the center of attention. When the team is going south, the first person they look at is the quarterback. When the team is going north, when they're doing good, when everything's all good, they look at the quarterback. So Zach Wilson, yes, you're young, I got it, but you got to be able to take accountability. And everything might not be your fault. I told y'all that when Breece Hall got hurt, I said the Jet season was over because they don't have a running back that teams fear. They don't fear anybody in the backfield. So when I don't fear anybody in the backfield, I can just focus on the passing game. So that hurts the quarterback. For example, Kenny Pickett with Pittsburgh. It's the reason why we've been looking so good the past couple of weeks prior compared to weeks before that, because we didn't have a run game. When you don't have a run game, teams don't respect it. So when they don't respect it, they can drop 8 people into coverage, which is going to hurt your pass game, right? So the same, and now Kenny Pickett is looking a lot better because we can have a run game. Same thing with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson wasn't ever doing good. He just had a good run game. So when teams fear Breece Hall, Zach Wilson was able to feed off that, to play action, right? And teams would fall for it, and then he'll be able to throw it over your head. Or he can be successful in the pass because he had Breece Hall, a huge threat at running back. Breece Hall tore ACL, and I told y'all the season was over. This is the game that Zach Wilson had prior to that interview, to that press conference. He went against the Patriots, right? He went 9 for 22, 77 yards, okay? In that week, they scored 3 points, right? They had 6 first downs. They had 9 completions and 10 punts. They had more punts than completions. That's pretty bad. Now, in his defense, y'all played the Patriots, right? The Patriots are a pretty good, pretty well-coached team, pretty good defensive team, right? Right in the playoff picture with y'all. So this is a pretty good team. So maybe the game wasn't necessarily your fault, right? Maybe that was just a good defense. They played great that day. I didn't really watch the game, but looking at the stats, they played a great game that day. And maybe your offense just wasn't clicking, right? So don't necessarily put the blame on yourself. But you could say, as an offense, we got to do better. I'll even take that. But when they say the offense let the defense down, you got to say yes. Just because they got to tell them what they want to hear, right? When you doing press conference and stuff like that, like I said, I've never done it before, but I think it's pretty obvious that you got to say the right things, even if you don't mean it. Just say the right things. Don't be truthful. Sometimes you got to lie. Look, lying ain't always bad. Sometimes you gotta lie just to get out of stuff. Sometimes you gotta lie just to keep it moving. Sometimes you gotta lie, and I think this is when you should have lied and said, "Look, yeah, I think we let them down." Just say it for the sake of the press, because now they're eating you alive. Now you're on the bench. Okay, this is why you just can't do these things. So he said that in the conference. He said, "No, I don't think we let the defense down." And then the defensive players felt some type of way. So the head coach went to Zach and said, "Look, we can go ahead and bench you for right now, right? Basically to get some mental reps, right? To get back to who you are, I guess. That's what that means. We're gonna bench you until I put you back in." So he's not benched the rest of the season, but temporarily he is benched. And I think it's because of those remarks, not just his play, but because you played bad and then you said that I don't think I let the defense down. When your defense held the Patriots 3 points the whole game until the end, they had a kick, punt return. I think that statement kind of puts you on the bench, right? And then Mike White came in. Mike White, the backup quarterback, he came in and played the Bears last week. He scored 31 points, had 22 first downs, 22 completions, 2 punts. He had almost a perfect game, right? And most backups, when they come in the first day, you don't have any tape on them, right? You can't watch any film on them, so they have a pretty good game. And on top of that, he played the Bears. Okay, so let's not act like Mike White is just their next answer. I've seen some people saying the Jets found their quarterback. No, they didn't. Calm down. You played the Bears. Okay, the Bears are a pretty bad team right now. For everybody that's watching football knows that they're a bad team. So he had a good game against a bad team. This week they play the Vikings, right? The Vikings defense is not necessarily that good, but you're playing a 9-2 team. You're playing a pretty good team. So let's see if he can keep that going against the Vikings. But Zach Wilson is taking accountability. He's growing. He's maturing. Right? He's still young. I don't think he's played a full season worth of games yet because he got hurt last year, and then he was still hurt in the beginning of this year. So I think that Zach Wilson gonna be all right. I don't know if he's their answer. I don't know if he's their franchise quarterback. I don't know that because I don't think he's that good. But I think when it comes to holding accountability and just growing as a person, I think he will grow. So that's why Zach Wilson is benched, for those of y'all that don't know. But Robert Saleh, the head coach, did come out and say that he is eventually he will be back in. But hey, if you're trying to go to the playoffs with this team, you got to make up your mind, because you can't throw off the chemistry with the receivers and the quarterbacks. So if you're gonna put Zach Wilson in there, you might want to hurry up and get it going, because playoffs are right around the corner. But as promised, I'm going to end today with the best 5 plays of week 11. So the week before this past week, I'm going to have the best 5 plays for this week, this past week on Friday. All right, so let's go ahead and get into an honorable mention. Let's talk about Amari Cooper, man. Great touchdown grab. Amari Cooper is having an under-the-radar season. He's had 4 100-yard games. He's had 3 or more 70-plus yard games. So I believe one of them like 74, then 95, 90-something. But he's having a pretty good year with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. And guess what? Deshaun Watson is coming back this week. I'm not saying Deshaun will come out looking like old Deshaun, but now he has a quarterback that can get the job done from as we seen in the past. Of course, I don't know how Deshaun going to play now, but as we seen in the past, Deshaun can get it done. He's a top 5 quarterback when fully active and fully healthy the last time we seen him. So Amari Cooper gets his quarterback back, and on top of that, he's having a pretty good underrated season this year in a run-first offense. All right, number 5, got to go with Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet and Justin Fields will be a great tight end quarterback duo. I promise you that. So look at this one-handed grab. Great grab. He's going to make plays for this team in the future. I promise you that. He's young. Justin Fields is young. They're going to create a great chemistry, and I think this will be one of the best quarterback tight end duos for the next couple of years to come. Just give it time. Number 4, I got to go with Cordell Patterson. Y'all, I told y'all, one of the most underrated players in the league, but he made history on this 103-yard kickoff return. He broke the record all time for kickoff returns, y'all. That's just who he is. That's who he was in Minnesota. Then he kind of shied away from him, started playing offense some more, but the Falcons keep him back there because guess what? If you can make that play, I have an offense that struggles. Marcus Mariota, my quarterback, but not that good. I need somebody to kick off return. They can make it easy on the quarterback, right? Get a couple returns, get a couple good, big yardage gains on the kickoff return. So put Cordell Patterson back there. I don't care if you're my starting running back. Put him back there. And he went back there and he scored a touchdown. Like I said, breaking the record, getting 9 kick return touchdowns on his career. So great job, Cordell Patterson. Number 3, we just talked about it a little bit in that Patriots against Jets game. It was 3-3 until the Patriots walk-off punt return at the end of the game. Marcus Jones made a great play, made a huge play. The Jets not thinking, look, they about to go score. No, I'm not thinking that because Marcus Jones, he's not no big-time returner, so I'm going to kick him the ball. Let's hope this thing go to overtime, right? No, he said, I'm going to call a game. I'm going to go ahead and take it to the crib, and that's how they won that game. So big play by the Patriots in winning games that they desperately need to get back into this playoff picture. Great job, Marcus Jones. Number 2, got to go with the one and only, the best defensive player in the league. Gotta go with TJ Watt. He's better than Michael Parsons. For all y'all Dallas Cowboy fans out there and all y'all haters, he is definitely better than Michael Parsons because Michael Parsons not doing this. Look at the play. He did this twice this year, both against Joe Burrow, who's the top 5 quarterback in this league. TJ Watt is making plays for this defense. Look, I'm not going to be biased because that's my team, but watch out for them Pittsburgh Steelers, y'all. We are coming. Whether it's this year or next year, we are coming, and it's all because, and a big part of it has to do with number 90, y'all, the best defensive player in the league, TJ Watt. Great interception, making plays for this defense and getting Kenny Pickett into better situations. But number 1, this is the first time I'm going to do this. I haven't done this all year. I'm going to do this real quick. I'm almost done. This is number 1 on the best 5 plays of week 11. I'm gonna go with a performance by Devontae Adams, who just showed us that he's still the best receiver in all of football. Look at the walk-off touchdown in overtime. Not just that, but he routed up who people argue the best corner in the league in Patrick Surtain. And not only did he route him up, but that game he had 7 catches, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And you know what? Patrick Surtain, he travels. So Patrick Surtain, he goes with the number 1 receiver every play. Devontae Adams did him up, y'all. He just tore him to shreds. And at the end of the game, I can't remember the exact quote, but I think Devontae told the media, he said, he's not there yet. Or he said something like, he's not ready yet. He's not there yet. He's not that guy yet. Something like that. He's letting people know that, look, I don't care who the best corner in the league is, they cannot hold me. So Devontae Adams proved that he is still the best receiver in the league with that 7 catch, 141, 2 touchdown performance against Patrick Surtain. So the performance is number 1. Not just the walk-off touchdown, but the whole performance is number 1. Just like Devontae is the number 1 receiver in the league, and just like this is your number 1 podcast. Well, not statistically, but you know what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to win y'all hearts over. But that is it for today, y'all. I'm about to be out of here. I will have an episode for y'all on Friday. And look, much love. It's starting to get cold outside. It's the holidays time. So guess what? Spend time with your family. Stay warm. College students finished up. Finals. Get it all done. And then Christmas break will be great. I promise y'all. So look, I'm out, y'all. Much love. I gotta go. I'll see y'all later.